Good evening, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we will go straight over to those charts. So let's just whiz over to Bitcoin first. So yeah, as you can see, not too much has happened today. Been trading in quite a tight range. Well, we have potentially what looks like a bear flag, but if you wanna be like really optimistic and squint and come down to a lower time frame, you can definitely draw an ascending triangle, which is obviously a bullish formation, of which we look like we are getting quite close to the well, the resolution area of. We'll just extend this a bit longer. So yeah, potentially looking at an ascending triangle. Is this enough to get us back up, get us back through this 10,600 resistance and basically save us? Maybe it is, guys. We'll have to see. Maybe it is. This is not, well, obviously it is basically this sort of level that we've stopped at, but it's not one of the most important levels for us to be looking out for. Obviously, let's whiz back over to the 4 hour. Obviously, this 10,000 area is a more major area that you would expect this to come down and test. We have sort of got these two levels here drawing in as well. One obviously which has stopped the price for now. But yeah, I mean, breaking this major area of 10.6, realistically, well, unless we're going to put in a higher low, which clearly we could do. But yeah, realistically, breaking such a major area, the bottom of that range is pretty much 10k. These are just shorter term areas of potential interest. But yeah, you wouldn't necessarily expect them to hold the price. But like I said in this morning's video, Bitcoin doesn't have a mind of its own. It's getting led by the stock market and the dollar. And the stock markets are up quite nicely today, which we'll actually go over and have a look at. So yeah, let's have a look at on the 12 hour on the daily as well. I believe my computer is wanting to be a bit slow today. But yeah, I mean, like I did just say though, if we do want to hold price here, get back above 10,600, then that will be a quite a nice higher low relative to this low here. And obviously you guys know how I feel about 10,600. I was pretty bearish. Well, I'm still basically on the basis that we've taken it out again and we are below it, and it hasn't managed to offer good support even coming down from this level, as opposed to coming all the way down from here. So I am a bit skeptical, but obviously the ball is in Bitcoin's court. If it can get back above 10,600 and hold in this zone, then yeah, then that is quite constructive, and I would be looking for Bitcoin to play out this area a bit and then potentially try for some more upside. But yeah, again, like I'm going to keep stressing, this does we are basically getting driven by stock markets today. If stock markets had another down day today, we would clearly be down in Bitcoin. We are going to start having a look at some Ethereum charts also, but firstly we are going to look at the SPX at stocks. So yeah, as you can see, stock markets, they today we have got back above this line, this horizontal we've got in, which is clearly good. What we want to see, we want to get back into, we want to get back above this zone. But yeah, we want to get back into this zone. We don't want to be taking out this low. If we go over to the daily and see how it looks on here, I mean, you can see it quite clearly. We have tagged this low, and now we've got back up, so that is quite a relatively long wick on yesterday's daily candle. So if we can push on from here to the upside, get back above these, especially above this level here, which is obviously coincides with this high there and this price action here. If we can get back above there, then I think we will be looking good for new highs. Nasdaq, we'll whiz over to that Nasdaq on the daily. Again, Nasdaq, as you can see, constructive. constructive on the daily. Well, trying to regain that 50. Not that I put much importance on the 50, but yeah, more importantly, we need to regain that 21. 21 does have a downward slope at the moment, though. So like I have been saying, Nasdaq, I'm potentially, even if it just trades sideways in this range, I don't think that is the worst thing for it to do at these lofty heights. Obviously, the S&P, I would expect to, it's got more room to run to the upside realistically, so I would be expecting more from the S&P than just to trade sideways in this range. I would be expecting the S&P to take out this high, providing we are going to go bullish. But I mean, clearly we've got very clear defined levels here. Break below here, then yeah, I mean, just pick a target below, and nothing will be off the table. And then Nasdaq the same as well. I mean, possibly this low realistically we'll be looking at, even though that is quite a bit lower than that level. But yeah, losing this 10,500, I think we're basically toast. But again, we have the same problem here, 21 moving down, and we basically got to regain that moving average. Let me just check. Sorry. Yeah, pretty much similar moving average posture. So let's go to our arch nemesis, the DXY. So yeah, DXY, as you can see, taking out all these highs, all these recent highs from this whole move down, all the consolidation sort of area highs, we've taken them out. So we are fully and formally well above this trend line. Yeah, I mean, this is a potential change of behavior in the dollar. Yeah, I mean, that's all we can really say about that. Someone did ask in the chat about obviously how we've had this big move up in the dollar, but stocks haven't really got hit that hard, and Bitcoin's not got hit that hard today. The thing is, if you X out this price action here, it's just all down, down, down. All systems go to the downside. Where do we stop? Where do we stop? So obviously the market is positioned for this downside, with no real reasons to be taking any profits for trades that are basically reflecting this downward movement. As soon as we then got this movement here, things then started to look, well, this initial movement here, things then started to look a bit dicey, and it did start to look a bit trend like we could potentially reverse the trend, put it that way. Potentially reverse the trend. So that is a big difference of being able to potentially reverse the trend and just it being as clear as day, just down, 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 down. So that obviously did trigger a lot of people to take action with their trades, with their stock trades or with their Bitcoin trades or whatever their basically risk on trades were, to risk off. So obviously once we started to make that sort of movement, trade sideways and move up again, this is not as unexpected. Obviously to take out this high here from that high there after taking out the lows and grinding all the way back up, that was pretty much unexpected. And this price movement here is a lot more expected. And obviously since this move up from this date, things well, economically have become a bit more, and politically have become a bit more dicey. So I mean, that was all getting factored in, and yeah, so I mean, it's just less of a shock to the market. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. It's sort of the rate of change. Everything was clearly going downwards, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, are we going down or are we going to go back up? Once you have that pivot, that 180 in where the market thinks the dollar is going, then that's when you're going to have the biggest bang for your buck, basically, as it were. And then yeah, and that's obviously what happened at this point. And then now that we are just extending this move, we are we're in a short-term uptrend. So the fact that we then break upwards isn't as surprising for people. But yeah, that's basically explains that. It is always down to the rate of change, and then the rate of change of the rate and change, the rate of change squared. But yeah, so but yeah, like I still said though, it isn't all over for dollar weakness. I mean, as you can see, this is a very important level, more longer term. This level is obviously only important in this near-term price action. So yeah, if we start to get above this level, and above this level as well, then yeah, I mean, it's just going to be, all bets are off. So yeah, but that doesn't necessarily have to happen. We can just have more of a of a higher pullback up here. And don't forget, not that I want to make excuses, this is just a relative trade against other currencies. It does not mean that all fiat is going down the drain. It doesn't mean that all fiat isn't going down the drain. It just means other fiat for the time being is going down the drain faster than the dollar was going down the drain. So remember, these are all relative trades. But yeah, obviously assets priced in dollars are gonna generally move accordingly with this. But don't forget, the dollar can strengthen and gold can strengthen. We have had that in recent price action. Obviously gold has been strengthening for quite a while, and as you can see, so had the dollar. So it is not always the case, but yeah, so yeah, just be aware of that. But yeah, I mean, clearly, generally speaking, this isn't good, and if it does start to fully and formally create an uptrend, then obviously then people are not only going to be getting out of their risk on trades and actually going to be placing risk off trades, so it's going to further drive that move. So yeah, definite inflection point. What we've got going for us though is obviously stock markets looking like they're doing their best. They are doing their best for us, basically, guys. That's all we can say. That's all we can ask of them. Let's have a look at gold and silver. Obviously still whacked, still hanging around these lows. I mean, are we going to come and test lower? Are we going to consolidate around here? That will remain to be seen. I don't think on candles like this people are rushing in to buy again. We'll wait for some consolidation, some sideways or some downwards, or just some time to elapse before people will start to move in that. That is silver. Gold, same with gold. People are still gonna wait. They're gonna wait to see how this plays out before well, either taking off their shorts or putting on some longs. So let's go over to Ethereum. Ethereum US dollar first. We'll draw a couple of lines that are potentially significant for us. We've obviously got one here. We potentially have a trend line here. What else is jumping out at me on this chart? Yeah, not too much else really here. Not really too much else. We'll have to obviously draw some other lines based on TD9s as and when they occur. Over to the 4 hour. Let's pull this back a bit. Yeah, I mean the 4 hour. I mean we are basically in a bit of no man's land here. Like I said, look, we are potentially bull flagging this out. We could come down lower. We could basically form a higher low here and start to, well, trade sideways to up. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what happens. Obviously this chart will get updated daily with what is occurring. Let's have a look at the daily again, because we'll just check out those moving averages. And yeah, I mean moving average posture isn't ideal. We're basically getting rejected by the daily 21. We lost the daily to 1 rejected. We've had the cross between the daily 21 and the 50. So yeah, I mean realistically, potentially looking at a test of the daily 200, but that is below both these levels. So realistically, we'd want the daily 200 to come and meet us somewhere up here if we do need to test it. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Ethereum, Bitcoin. What important levels can we draw on here? Yeah, no, I mean we'll draw this, obviously this one along here, and we're on a daily here. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, round about where we are as well. So round about where we are getting held up, roughly speaking, is a pretty important level. If we lose that, I mean, then realistically, this is probably our next target. Yeah, this is probably our next target. But yeah, I mean, clearly we can bounce here if we want to. We can bounce here. The moving averages on the daily, we'll just check them out on the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. Let's just straighten this out a little. There we go. Yeah, Ethereum Bitcoin, this is sort of looking like a pagoda of inverted of head and shoulders. So yeah, I mean, it would not look out of place for us to lose this level and come and test down this level. That's sort of a projected move from this just this sort of very head and shoulders with lots of shoulders basically. But yeah, I mean we could realistically lose this level, come down to here. It would look quite normal in the scheme of the price action. In the bigger scheme of things, we'll draw another horizontal along here, because to be honest, we could lose this level as well and come as deep as here. But they're obviously the bearish targets. I mean, we can obviously turn this around and start to make progress to the upside also. So we will keep updating this. I mean, it's difficult to really read Bitcoin here. Sorry, Ethereum here. In all fairness, it's a bit difficult to read what the next move will be. Yeah, I mean, the Satoshi pairing does look weaker than the dollar pairing. That's all I will say. So yeah, maybe we are going to get Bitcoin being able to get above 10.6, but but Ethereum not keeping quite up as much with the moves. But again, I'd fundamentally I don't see that as likely. There is more interest in the whole sort of Ethereum type ecosystem, DeFi coins and etc. things like that, which are obviously going to drive Ethereum. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. All I will say is Ethereum potentially looking weaker on the basis that it is a higher risk asset relative to Bitcoin, so liquidity will come out of Ethereum and go into Bitcoin. So so yeah, that is what we're looking at there. So let's have a look at those stochastics, see how they are looking. Let's get the 4 hour up first. I mean, I'm guessing this is gonna be starting to move back up. Can this break us back above 10.6? Yeah, potentially. If this gets a nice move up, gets us breaking out that small ascending triangle, then yeah, we'll start to get some upward price action. 10 hour, if that can turn up, it is looking like it wants to. That could get us going. And 12 hour still looks like it's got plenty of steam in it. So yeah, I mean, we are going to be battling that. This is why, I mean, you'll get a lot of sideways price action, because you will obviously be battling higher time frame momentum indicators, because we've had quite a sharp move down, but then obviously shorter time frame ones will start to turn up. So that's sort of why you get this sort of like basically like this, exactly like this here. You get the move down and then you just kind of trade sideways as basically the oscillators are oscillating between who's controlling the price action at any particular given time. What I did want to have a look at on the what was it I wanted to look at this on? Yeah, that was it. Over to the DXY, if this wants to load up again. Dollar index. Let's get this up. What am I wanting to look at here? I'm wanting to look at a potential. We'll just get it. Oh, sorry, we're on the daily. That's why it wasn't looking quite right. At a, let me just see if I can get this drawn in. Was this what I was meant to be? Was this what I was looking for? I don't believe it was. Where was I looking for what I was looking for at? Yeah, I mean, I was basically looking for an ascending wedge, and yeah, I mean, there is one here. This may have been the one I was wanting to show you guys, but I'm not 100% certain it was on the S&P. But yeah, you can see we've got an ascending wedge here, which could very easily break to the downside. Let me just have a quick whiz through some others as well. Just have a quick look at Bitcoin here too, on the daily. Yeah, so that must have been it. I knew there was an ascending wedge I wanted to highlight to you guys, and I was certain it was on the dollar index. I was certain it was on here. This is a 1 hour time frame. Let's have a look at the daily. Yes, here it is. Here is what I am looking at, because obviously I was thinking it's not on the S&P, because that is not that relevant. relevant as obviously the DXY. But yeah, so if we have this here and we have this, well, it's more of a channel. I think I had it drawn as a wedge from, well, I don't actually know why I drew it from that top there. Or did I have it? Let's just delete that one. Was I looking at it on a shorter time frame where I got some different wicks in? Yeah, that was it, because there's our line here. So if I move that down to here, move this up to here. Apologies for my just not quite with it. Chart pattern. What have I done now? Let's click on this. Yeah, just bear with me, guys. This is what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at this as a potential ascending wedge, which ascending wedge, potentially bearish pattern. So obviously this could go on for quite a long time. As you can see, this is on a 4 hour, but yeah, it is on a 4 hour. But as you can see, plenty of room to run to the upside here, guys, is what I'm saying. So yeah, whilst we are in this, I would be keeping an eye out for this, especially bottom side trend line. If we do get a move down, to catch this price action, catch the dollar index, and I mean potentially coincide with this horizontal, so around 93. So basically what I'm saying is it's going to take a lot of effort, I think, to get a 92 handle back on the DXY at the moment. Until we potentially get a bit toppier within this with this potential ascending wedge, so potentially around here, and at this point we could then get a dump back down, and then even that dump back down, guys, could realistically just be a test of this, basically a test of this trend line. I don't know if I've drawn it more like that or not. I don't know if this makes much more sense. Yeah, anyway, we can slightly adjust this at another point. I will deal with what with my chart patterns. Yeah, we'll just leave it there for the time being. But yeah, so what I'm saying is that yeah, we could lose this wedge and then come down and test this trend line and bounce off there, and that would still look quite potentially bullish, but that still gets us down to about 92, guys. So watch out for your get out. Watch literally this. That'll be it. That'll be your ability to get out of these risk assets before we then do fully and formally go dollar bullish. Hey, maybe that is what is going to happen. Yeah, that is about it, really. I know I think I have gone on a little bit here, guys, so apologies for that. Obviously, we had to do some having a look at Ethereum, which we're obviously going to do daily now. We've had a look at this dollar index. I mean, yeah, you can see it a bit more clearly on here, can't you? The potential ascending wedge that we are, well, I keep saying potentially, I mean, because it's early days in this formation, if that's what we're in. I mean, we're going to see, obviously, if we come down here, if we keep moving up, then clearly it's not what we're in. But yeah, this could be a point where we come down. This could be a point where we come down to around, well, I mean, in all fairness, depending on how quick it comes down, mid to low 93s, but I would assume it will take a few days if we're going to, and then there things could start to look better for the market. We could potentially drop out of this wedge, and then yeah, I mean, realistically we could keep coming down, but obviously I would be looking at this as a breakout of this trend line, and a retest of it, where it could come in at any point down here, even in the 91s, and then I mean, is that going to be it for the dollar? Or will we bounce off there and potentially play some upside? I mean, you guys know my fundamental views of the dollar, but I've obviously got to take into account now the fact that we could have potentially a break of this downtrend trend in progress. And yeah, I mean, also, you guys, if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I've been saying that I think we got a good period of time to make hay whilst the sun shines before we get into the super volatility before the election. But yeah, I mean, that could potentially start early. Maybe we are at the point where we are going to start pricing in just outcomes, basically. Pricing in various outcomes which are all necessarily going to be as rosy for stock markets So yeah, that's about it, guys. So yeah, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Apologies for the sort of well, the nature of this video. Obviously we've drawn a few things in. We've got the Ethereum set up, so there's not really it's not really going to be the same sort of faffing about with stuff in the next video. So but apologies for that on this one. So yeah, that is it, guys. So remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys in the morning.